Welcome to Ryotaro, Japan. Soon, Japan will open up its border to new visitors and tourists. But before that happens, I'd like to make the definitive guide to what you guys need to know before arriving that only real Japanese person can teach you. Not by those British YouTubers. You can't learn anything from them, especially when they leave studio keys unguarded. Japan can be a somewhat confusing place with lots of rules and a difficult language barrier. Those are things that many tourists don't know, so keep in mind these 5 important things and you'll be a Japan master in no time. Number 1. Ordering from the restaurant in Japan can be difficult when you don't speak the language. Often, if you don't know what to do, you just end up pointing at random items or pictures and not really understanding what you're eating. But today, I'll teach you some special trick for how to order really good stuff.
You may remember in my first video, I taught you おすすめは何ですか? That's beginner's level. Anyone can say that.
おすすめは何ですか?
And I mean literally anyone. It's good to use to start out. But let's get more advanced.
This phrase only applies to the restaurants that serve you like sushi or any kind of fish dishes. Literally means what's good today. Do you have anything good today? いいの入ってますか? いいの入ってますか? いいの is good and 入ってますか is do you have. If you say this to the chef and the chef would be like, ooh, this guy knows sushi.
But what if you really want to wow someone with your knowledge of being able to point at the menu?
Advanced level. So this applies many times at the izakaya. The izakaya normally have this kind of book-style menu, and besides that, they have this hidden paper, handwritten menu, normally like written by this calligraphy pen in Japanese, of course, only. So you might not notice, but normally there is. So taking it out, and that menu like this, is the one that normally lists out the things that are available only that day and things that are in season. So those are best stuff. So use the phrases I taught you in the beginner's level and the medium level, which is おすすめは何ですか and also いいの入ってる. So just pointing out いいの入ってる. It's like, oh, it goes, oh yeah, this is good, this is good. You know, even if you don't know what you're ordering, believe me, you're getting the best stuff. Next, number 2, beware of bears. Now, I don't mean to scare you, but it's true that bears are everywhere in Japan. Even around countryside of like Tokyo, even around my house. The other day, there was like one little car with a speaker making an announcement saying, oh, in this early morning today, there was 2 bears in the park, so be careful. How can you be careful when you're just taking a walk in the park? But that's how often you might be able to find like bears in Japan.
In fact, bear sightings are becoming increasingly common in Miyagi where I live, with over 315 sightings this year alone.
I've been trying to contact you regarding your car's extended warranty.
When I was younger, bears would almost always be seen in forests and mountains, but now it seems that the search for food has brought them into the city. Last year, a bear even entered a school in town of Toyama. Like, what are you even trying to learn, bear? William Shakespeare?
But anyway, so every single hiker almost in Japan normally wearing this little bell that makes sound so the bear gets scared. So if you're planning to hike in Japan, make sure to buy that little bell. And one more tip for you. You don't have to be the fastest, but faster than your friend. Now, many people have mentioned about Japanese common customs such as like giving business cards and bowing all the time and no tipping and no rubbish business so. But that is boring. So now I'd like to give you some customs that only Japanese people know. And you will know now.
In Japan, everyone uses a fax machine. We all take our shoes off indoors. That's analysis of 16 million years of Japanese history. Dingus. You learn Japanese culture from fortune cookie? Here are some unknown Japanese customs that may not really apply to a tourist, but hey, it's my channel. I can talk about what I want.
First of all, I want to talk about giving people things. For instance, when you get injured, you get hospitalized, you're like lying on a bed and people like come and say, oh, how are you okay, whatever, to see you. So people bring gifts, and normally people bring fruits. in a basket. Normally they're sold like on the ground floor of the hospital, and it's very, very expensive. I'm talking about like $70, $80, $90 sometimes, and over $100 sometimes, if it's very expensive one.
Culturally, fruits in Japan is seen as one of many items deemed respectful to use to decorate a butsudan or an altar for your ancestors. So, giving fruits as a gift also has this nuance of being a luxury. Not kiwis though. No one likes kiwis. Weird fairy f***ing things.
Okay, another example. Attending Japanese weddings. It's a little bit different from Western weddings when it comes to giving gifts. Because in many Western countries, you give gifts to the couple. But in Japan, what happens is that you don't give gifts, but instead you pay money. And the money, the amount of money cannot be even number, because the even numbers you can divide by 2, meaning separation. So it's kind of bad luck, isn't it? So it needs to be something like 30,000 yen or 50,000 yen. Normally, if you're a friend, you pay 30,000 yen, which is equivalent to $270 US, I guess. And if you were relatives, you pay about 50,000. And then if you're parents, you pay a lot more than that. And again, that number cannot be even number because it means separation.
You can even give someone 30 yen if they happen to be British. That's an odd number too. But what about other gifts too? Flowers in Japan all have their own meaning. There was a recent story I saw on Twitter where a foreign guy bought his wife chrysanthemums instead of roses because that's all the shop's owner had. And the wife got super mad at this. Why? Because in Japan, chrysanthemums are used almost exclusively for decorating graves, which actually might end up being useful for the guy in the end. So there you have it, Japanese customs that boring YouTubers never talk about. What do you mean they're not useful? Want another Japanese custom? In Japan, it's customary for you to shut the f***.
Number 4, things that Japanese people think are compliments, but not so much in other countries. These titles are getting too long. So now I'd like to talk about body parts, especially nose. In Japan, it's said that it's good to have long nose. So we normally say it, hana ga takai. Like takai is like high, but it's like long in English, so long nose. When you come to Japan, if some Japanese person come up to you and say, oh my god, you have long nose, don't get mad and just take it as a compliment. Just say thank you. Because Japanese people want to have long nose if they could, or if we could. Many people don't have one, they just get jealous of yourself. So be proud of it. The other example of the body part is face. It's a compliment to have small head. In Japanese, 顔が小さい. Literally in Japanese, face is small, but we are talking about head. If someone comes up to you and say, oh, your face is so small, again, don't get mad. It's a compliment. So say thank you. Oh, so really? My head is small. Thank you so much.
In fact, some Japanese people long for a small head so much that they even visit special physical therapists who massage their head in an attempt to make it smaller.
Ironically, there's a phrase in Japan that says, 顔が広い means your face is wide. It sounds a bit like weird, but that actually means in Japanese, you're well networked or you have very many friends. Say someone, your face is wide, and in English, it's like, what the fuck is going on? Like, what the person is saying? But, for instance, Chris's face is wide. He's got many friends. So, again, in Japanese, it's 顔が広い. So, like, Chris no 顔は広い. Chris no 顔は広い. That means he's got many friends. So when you come to Japan, if you find someone who's got many friends, you can say that someone's name is 顔は広い. Then you can use that. I mean, if you can use it, but just try to use it if you can. Chris has the widest face I've ever seen. Ugh. Next up, number 5. What dating in Japan is like. You are alone. I get it. Everyone's alone. Everything is meaningless. But anyway, so Japanese people have very interesting way to meet your date. In Western countries, you normally meet your girlfriend, boyfriend at the bar or clubs and so, right? But in Japan, we have this thing called gokon. It comes from the word godo kompa, which means collective meeting. what happens is that it's like a gathering of like a drinking and so. But the thing is, this gathering has to have same number of male and same number of female. So it's organized by two people, one male, one female. This female person try to gather these other, say, 5 members, and this man will try to get like 5 members, and then we gather at the say izakaya or something, and then eventually you become a couple. So these events, the Gokon, are not only privately done, it's also organized by local municipal government. They call it Machikon, the town, the gathering, town Gokon. These Machikons are organized by these municipal governments because these governments are losing population because young people are moving out, no kids and so, too many males, for instance, because women are getting married with the people who live outside of town. So they organize this machikon so that they can have many girls, they invite many girls from outside that town, and they try to have the meeting with the local men and try to have the couples, and hopefully they get married in the future. So if you're looking to find your love in Japan, ask your local city office. So that's it for the tips and tricks of Japan that only real Japanese person can teach you about. Try them out. You might get married, you might meet the bear, and you might get married to the bear, whatever. So leave me a comment if you're still alive, and I'll see you in next video.
William Shakespeare. Who wrote this f***ing script? Wow!
This isn't f***ing about Japan. You need to write better than that.